Hello everyone and welcome to today's exclusive members only video on the membership club. You're actually watching this is being broadcasted live, so I'll be watching it with you guys at the same time and I'll be chatting with you in the comment section at the same time. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're randomly joining in the middle, you could, when it's finished, you could scroll back and watch the whole thing again. We're talking about this whole virus issue and China, the Chinese government somehow getting away with what they've actually started because their response since then has been quite robust. Because they're authoritarian, they don't really have freedom in that country. They could do whatever they want. So they've started shooting their own people in the streets and arresting people. So it has slowed down the pace and the rate in China, and it could have been a lot worse. But in this video, we are going to be talking about the cover-up done by the Chinese government and how this could have actually been prevented if it weren't for those guys. So there is unfortunately, the mainstream media, at least in this country, in the UK, are definitely not really talking about this properly. And there are some people in the US Congress and American politicians in general, especially from the right, who are raising this issue. And for example, we have one article on the Axios has posted China's coronavirus cover-up was among the worst in history. One of the congressmen has said this is according to one of the top Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, who has accused China of carrying out one of the worst cover-ups in human history. This is the Republican member Michael McCall, who is quite obviously hawkish when it comes to China and has raised these issues. And we are still waiting for responses because China has actually hit back quite badly when it comes to responding to American journalists. We have a situation where China has now banned journalists from 3 major US newspapers and they've actually kicked them out. The Chinese government announced on Tuesday that it will revoke past credentials for American journalists who work for the New York Times, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal, and whose credentials were set to expire in 2020. This is obviously a retaliation because they've been asking some tough questions and they don't actually want to answer these questions. Now, for the people who wonder why China are hiding and they're not really responding to these real, very crucial, important questions, it's because from day one they had whistleblowers in the Chinese government and in the Chinese, healthcare. We've had a number of doctors and nurses who try to expose what's happening in that country and in Wuhan especially. And again, one of the examples, according to the Business Insider, a Wuhan doctor says that Chinese officials silenced her coronavirus warnings in December, costing thousands of their lives. Ifan, the director of Wuhan Central Hospital's emergency department, shared a diagnostic report with colleagues on WeChat on the 30th of December because she was particularly concerned by the similarities between this new pneumonia-like infection and SARS. And she's now told this to the Chinese magazine People. And they completely silenced at the time, and also other people like her. And we've also had situations where some of the doctors and nurses who were whistleblowers ended up dead. Now, the Senator Josh Hawley is now calling for a full international investigation into China's coronavirus cover-up following all these developments. According to Josh Hawley, on Wednesday, he actually warned the Chinese Communist Party that it would have to pay for its attempts to cover up the coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan and called for a full international investigation to get to the bottom of this. Then he said there needs to be a full international investigation of Chinese Communist Party, and this is actually getting quite out of hand. And because there's no appetite right now from the international community or even the United Nations to actually do this, it's good to raise these issues in America, in Britain, in all Western countries. Now, the National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien has said that China's coronavirus cover-up has cost the world 2 months. Yes, he says that we could have actually slowed down the pace, the rate, and but it's too late now because it's now spreading around Europe. Europe is now, according from today, as of today, we are now doing worse than Asia and China. There are more people, more cases in Europe, and it's quite embarrassing. And because the countries and governments in Europe are slightly less authoritarian, generally speaking, It took them a while to actually get their act together. Now we have all these authoritarian measures coming out of the British government, the French government, the Spanish government, the Italians. So that's what's happening now. Yeah, Robert O'Brien claimed that an initial cover-up of the coronavirus in China did cost the world community 2 months, and this could have been prevented if it weren't for those guys. And this has to be investigated. He said, unfortunately, rather than using best practices, this outbreak in Wuhan was covered up and doctors were silenced. Now, not all is bad, so we don't want to completely spread fear and negativity. We already have that from the mainstream media and some crazy so-called journalists on Twitter scaring people on a daily basis. Things are slightly looking good when it comes to the current and latest cases. According to a tweet, in the last month worldwide, there were 124,902 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and 69,912 recoveries. For each recovery, there were only 1.8 confirmed infections. Always look to the positives. This isn't the end of society. Yes, this data is from the worldmeters.info, the website that is keeping us up to date with the latest numbers when it comes to this latest virus. Now the question remains, is the Chinese government actually going to respond to the international community or not? And I'm gonna guess no. But as always, stay positive, keep calm and carry on, especially when it comes to British culture. We are actually acting like mature adults, apart from a few random idiots who are going out there and buying toilet papers. I don't know what, considering even if there's going to be a shutdown, which is likely this weekend, then what are you going to do with all the toilet rolls? Seriously, this disease is not going to make you or force you to use more toilet paper. Trust me. So I'm now kind of concerned about my own shopping because all the shops around me in this area have ran out of toilet paper, pasta, meat, everything that we need for the next 2 weeks. They don't really have it, so I need to find a way to do shopping. Speaking of which, I'm going to go out there to go find a shop somewhere to buy some of the essentials that we need. Do not stockpile. You just need some stuff for the next 2 weeks and we'll be fine. But we'll keep you guys posted. And on the membership club, obviously, we're going to be doing more regular exclusive members-only videos. And we're going to be doing more regular live streams and Q&As as well, because we're not leaving this house for a while, guys. And my cough has also gone. So last night in the live stream, I was coughing for a bit. That's gone too. So hopefully you should all stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, and we'll see you guys later in the next video.